Yo-ho, what's going on, guys? Good morning, weirdos. What's happening? All right. So, Bitcoin, a little bit of a correction across the market. But we did tell you that this was probably coming. So much so that in our trading group, we put in a nice, juicy short. And we cleaned up on that trade, guys. We cleaned up on it. That is why you want to be a member of our trading group, because even though the market was crashing over the last 2 days, we were still making money, right? Or sit on the sidelines. Your call, right? Let's get into it. Let's get into it here, guys. What's going down? Whew, I just ran to my computer. I'm out of breath. So we got 0 super chats to start the stream. Let's get into the chat. Paul, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, my guy. Nicholas, what's up, big dog? Good to see you, man. Crypto JPEG, thanks for those fire trades yesterday. Hey, absolutely, brother. We made that money. We made that money, brother. BTC is moving up on Thursday. You love to see it. Just have to be patient and hope for the best, says Justin. That one's for milk money. Yes. Strawberry Dragon. Good morning, Robin. Crazy fam. What's going on? Rockhound. What's up, man? Good morning, Lloyd Christmas. Nice. E-Play. What's going on, man? God bless. Working like a madman. That's what you got to do, man. Get that dry powder up, right? Jasmine's pumping. Blessings. Yeah, it is. It's actually up almost 5% on the day behind everything else, or ahead of everything else. It's me, Mario. Good morning, Senor Rob. Can't stop, won't stop. They won't call me a hodler when I get to heaven. No, they won't. No, they won't. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe on the way in. It's absolutely free. We got 94 people watching. We got 33 likes. Not a bad ratio, but we can do better, guys. We can get to 100. Let's get it. Let's get it. Mark, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. A passenger in the house again. Jasmine to the moon. Can I get an amen to that? Lion's Den. Robinator. You best get those economic girly men straight today. Yes, don't be an economic girly man. H. Barbarina in the house. What's going on? Mark says Jasmine and Anchor were super buys last week. XCN was a really good buy too. Yep. Look at those polls. We strong, baby. We strong. Ray says, good morning, Rob. Hit the like button. Yes. What's our poll at right now? So I said, is this correction scaring you? 87% of you guys said, hell no. Hell no. That's what I like to see. Big Kev dropping that chatter. He says the market goes up, the market goes down, but there's always a way to make money. Thank you, Rob, for the trading group. Let's go. Hey, absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Yeah, we nailed those trades yesterday. Guys, you got to get over to the trading group. You got to, right? Dave, morning, man. What's up, man? What it is, brother man, what it is. Terry says, hey, Rob, can't stay long, got to get back to work, but thank you for all you do, my friend. Hey, thanks for popping in. Thanks for dropping a comment and a like, my friend. That's what matters, guys. That's what matters, right? Danny says, hit the like button. Hell yeah, David. Good morning, all. Let's go, Bull Run. Let's go, Rob. How is the Russell? Let's have a look at the Russell. Russell's probably not doing much. But let's have a look. Ooh, Russell's actually having itself a nice little green day today. Let's have a look at it. Nice little green day on the Russell. Bounce off supports. We're waiting for that bounce to the upside here. We got to get above. We're right at resistance. Right at the high. Right? So, right at that high. If we can get above and close above there. Guys, what you're seeing on your screen right now is either a double bottom playing out or a double top getting ready to play out. One of the two, but this looks like a W to me. This looks like a potential double bottom. But what I would say is if Russell can break above here, this is a taste, an appetite for risk on assets like altcoins. So Cryptic Quinton, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Bitcoin 91.6, let's get it. Maybe 86 first, but maybe not. Looking to hold 91.6 by later today. Yeah, what are we at right now? 90,600. I mean, 90,400 is a significant level. We've managed to stay above it in terms of closes so far. So that's what I would be watching there. Gamecast, what's going on? I'm here today, Rob, to hang out and not be a sissy. That's what I like to hear. DMH says, just joined the Patreon and wanting to know, how do I book a one-on-one? Just shoot me a DM and I'll get you booked in. I got a bunch of DMs over there right now I got to go through this afternoon. So if you already sent me one, I will respond to it today. So, Milk Money, got milk. Happy Thursday. There it is. There it is. Mark says, amen. Let's go. Kizza, my dude. What's up, buddy? Pamp it. Zcash developers apparently left the team. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Tony, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Crypto JPEG, speaking of trades, do you still think we have room for profits, or is it time to pull the plug? Well, I'll update you over on the trading group. Pump it, baby. Quentin says, do you think Zbex super app will be a nothing burger? Usually they are. Usually news like that is a nothing burger. But they're big for the growth of the project in the big picture. And too many people are focused on like a catalyst coming along, and they're like, oh, this is going to pump my bags today. They're so worried about today that they don't understand that this is something that you need to care about for the big picture of the project, right? This expands the opportunity in the big picture for the project to, in the future, be able to hit something like $1, right? But most people want it at a penny so they can sell at a penny instead of holding it to $1, right? So Jasmine's ripping. Yeah, it's up 7.7% now. Jasmine's climbing today, baby. You absolutely love to see that. Maybe we got another Jasmine video coming out later today. Part 2 of the Jasmine documentary came out yesterday. If the app comes out and performs, the app is top notch. That will build a good base for to run from. Yeah, you're right. In the big picture. All right, so we are caught up in the chat, guys. We got 110 people watching, 57 likes. Let's get those likes up, guys. Let's get to 100. Love the part 2 Jasmine video. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, you get the odd person that complains, you know, like I literally flew to Japan and interviewed the CEO of the company, and people will still complain, right? Like, fine, you go fly to Japan, you go pay for it all, you go see if the CEO will even talk to you if you want to complain about it, right? Absolutely. All right, let's get into the news, guys. What's going on out there? Well, we saw... hang on a second here. We saw the news about Zcash. So let's first, before we get into the Zcash stuff, and by the way, guys, I am making a video covering the Zbex Spaces that's happening today. So don't worry, that will be out this afternoon. But we got this here from Nonzi. RIP crypto privacy in Europe. So as of January 1st, the DAC8 is officially live across the EU. And it's a total game changer if you live in a member state. The days of flying under the radar with your bags are officially over. Here's the deal. Number 1, snitching is mandatory. Snitches get stitches. Every exchange is now legally required to send your name, your tax ID, and every single trade you make straight to the government. Number 2, nowhere to hide. They're tracking crypto to fiat, crypto to crypto, and even those transfers to your private ledger or treasure. They see it all. Number 3, KYC or GTFO. If you don't hand over your tax ID, exchanges have to freeze your account and lock your funds immediately. Number 4, global crackdown. Even exchanges outside the EU have to play ball or get blacklisted from the European market. Basically, tax authorities just got a high-tech dashboard to track your entire net worth in real time. Data collection for 2026 is already running. If you aren't thinking about privacy yet, you are already behind. This is the new reality. Guys, don't be shocked to see this implemented across the United States and everywhere else. It's just common sense, right? The government, I don't know why some people think that because they're in crypto, somehow the government's just going to allow them to be secretive about their transactions and hiding their money and stuff like that. I don't know what world you live in if you think the government's going to allow that to happen, right? They want to know every single dollar you have, every dollar you make, because they want their cut. Plain and simple, right? There's not going to be any hiding your money in crypto. That's why I always tell people, stop trying to find ways around paying your taxes and just pay your taxes. It sucks. I hate it. I don't think it's fair any more than you do, but it's not worth the headaches to try to avoid it, right? So just pay your taxes. Just do it properly, and in the future, maybe find a tax-friendly country to move to. If this is your end game, if this is your goal is to make life-changing wealth in crypto, maybe move to a tax-friendly country, right? Where they're not going to rake you over the coals and take most of your money that you earned, right? So just something to think about. The Zbec burn mechanism has been upgraded. It's huge for Zbec and US. Yes. Well, like I said, we'll be covering that later today in a video. Over the top, what's happening, man? Let's go. Watching over on Rumble. Yes, the new Rumble wallet was released. Yes, I need everyone to follow me over on Rumble, guys. Make sure you're following me there. So, boy, what's up, man? Long time no see. Been a minute, brother. Been a minute. David, about tax in Canada, is it 30 or 50? I believe it's 50% of 50%. Okay? So you're only taxed on half of your capital gains. So yeah, it's 50% of 50%. So 25%, something like that as a whole. So yeah, I know it's confusing. It's weird, but yeah. All right, let's continue on here, guys. Let's continue on. Oh, we got this here. This one's for Hugo. If you're watching, brother, this one's for you, buddy. Ripple President Monica Long discussed plans for 2026, and if you own XRP, you want to watch this. Check it out, guys. Monica Long dropping that info.
So you mentioned some of those acquisitions. The company has been quite acquisitive. Where do you see M&A opportunities in 2026 and even beyond? What's exciting to you right now?
Yeah, so I mean, the thrust of our M&A strategy has been to accelerate the technology development of our digital asset infrastructure. So adding components like MPC custody through Palisade, as well as strengthening our stablecoin offering with Rail. That's kind of part one of our strategy. Part two has been acquiring complementary businesses that could be users of this infrastructure. So in the case of G Treasury, they serve 1,000 corporates. Using stablecoins as a new payment mechanism to make cross-border money transfer a lot more efficient has been on the minds of corporates. And so, we now are going to be plugging in those G Treasury customers to our infrastructure. And in the case of Ripple Prime, they serve hundreds of hedge funds, and we are kind of pushing further into that space of applying blockchain and stablecoins to make collateral mobility a lot more efficient.
What about acquiring an exchange? Because some of the biggest digital asset companies that many would argue are in your space, they actually have exchanges like Binance, for example, Coinbase, for example. Would an exchange make sense?
I mean, exchanges are definitely key partners of ours. Those are the primary, centralized exchanges have been historically the primary venues of liquidity for crypto and digital assets. We are really excited about how decentralized exchanges have been kind of building momentum as new venues of liquidity, which that plays into one of the core strengths of the XRP Ledger technology we use. So they've been key partners to ours. We don't have plans to seek an acquisition in that realm. But I think another interesting kind of trend we're seeing in crypto is the verticalization of the technology stack. So you mentioned Coinbase. Coinbase has now developed its own layer one base or layer two. And we're seeing that kind of across the board with the main players in crypto, seeking to kind of integrate the full stack from the blockchain to the stablecoin to custody technology, on and off ramps, et cetera.
All right, good stuff. Monica Long, really appreciate your joining us and hope to catch up with you again. Ripple President Monica Long there on Bloomberg Crypto.
So there you go, guys.
Absolutely crazy, guys. Ripple is going to be making even more moves going into 2026. Unbelievable, guys. I don't know why people aren't looking more into these companies. Like, unbelievable, man. There are some key companies going into 2026, 2027, like Ripple, like Zcash, that are just laying the foundation for massive profits, guys, right? If you're patient enough. All right, what do we got? Fear and Greed Index, 43, down 6 points from yesterday. It was at 49, so a little bit of trepidation in the market, a little bit of fear, a little bit of uncertainty. So, yeah. Altcoin Season Index, 22 out of 100, still leaning heavily towards Bitcoin. And the average crypto RSI dropped out of overbought down to damn near oversold at 43.78. And the market didn't even really go down that much. So, very positive across the board. A little bit of a reset here, guys. Now, if we go look over at Bitcoin, here's what I'm thinking, okay? I never give you my thoughts on Bitcoin. Here's what I'm thinking on Bitcoin, guys. Now, I said yesterday in our trading group, you know, I told them that we were going to be dropping. We did. We came all the way down to 89.3. And these are our key support levels, right? 90,400, 89,200. And we bounced right off 89,200 as support and right back up again, right? So we have a lot of buying pressure right now, which is a good sign. I think what we're doing right now, at the end of the day, we're just putting in another higher low before we make that next leg up, right? So as you can see, right, we have our low, we have our higher low, we're putting in another higher low, and then we'll probably come back up. We'll finally break above 94K resistance for a daily close, and then up to fill the CME gap at 96K. And then we'll probably correct again, probably retesting 94K as support before moving up even more, putting in another higher low, right? So there's nothing to be worried about right now, right? This is just bullish structure. We've literally started an uptrend here, right? So, but some people look so short term. Don't be so, if I could give one piece of advice to people, honestly, when it comes to crypto, don't be so short-sighted, right? Stop thinking because a daily candle doesn't go the way you want it to go that you're not going to be able to make money in this space, right? You gotta stop being. Too many people are so short-sighted. Now, let me say this clearly. Down here in this range, when we were down at the lows, if you were scared and angry and upset and all that stuff, and then up in this move right here, this five daily candles, if you were happy and euphoric and gleeful here, and now that we're coming back down again to set a higher low, you're emotional again and you are upset and you're scared. I'm not saying this because I'm attacking you. I'm saying this because you need to hear it, right? You are too emotional in this space. You have to get your emotions under control. If you, like I said, if you were upset down here, you were gleeful here, and now you're getting upset again here, you can sit there and deny that you're emotional all you want, but you are emotional. These market moves are controlling your moods, right? And likely your decisions. You need to get that under control, right? If you want to succeed in this space. That's not an attack. That is just simple advice. Stop being so emotional when it comes to this stuff, right? David says, thanks a lot. Always good to be here. Absolutely, brother. There are some states in the U.S. That are tax-free, like Florida. Nice. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's state, not federal, right? Yeah. Jasmine's shredding. Yeah, it is. Absolutely. What do we got? Christopher, good to see you, buddy. It's common sense. What is going on? Manipulation combined with routine retracement. Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, what's going on, man? Do you have any thoughts on polymarket crypto projects with their own trading platforms? I haven't used polymarket personally, but I hear good things. over in our trading group and over in our VIP community on the Patreon, we will be leaning heavily into prediction markets to make money that way as well, though. I can say that in 2026. So, brother, can you quickly check Cookie's chart? I think I looked at Cookie yesterday, didn't I? But yes, I can look at the Cookie chart. I got it making me change my charts here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to open a different chart for Cookie. All right. Yeah, I looked at Cookie yesterday, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Cookie's just in a downtrend right now. Like I said, Cookie needs to get to 6.5 cents to break through this trend line. And then you're probably going to see a nice move to the upside. For me, your breakout for this first stop's going to be somewhere around 9.5 cents for Cookie. So, but it's got to break out of 6.5 cents first, right? So you should see another move up to retest that soon. Maybe as soon as Bitcoin puts in its higher low and then starts to work its way up, you should see Cookie start to work its way up a little bit too to retest this trend line once again. You do have that will put in your 3 touches on the trend line. You generally want to have 3 touches before a breakout. You got 1 there, you got 2 there, so you need a 3rd one here, and then you'll likely kind of test it, reject off, then you'll break out, retest it, and you'll probably go. So there's still a little bit of time left to accumulate Cookie if you want, if you're trying to, but yeah, a breakout is coming soon for it, in my opinion. Finally controlled my emotions, brother. Thanks for all your good guidance. Hey, no problem, man. I'm glad to hear it. Congratulations, man. Time to make money, says Rob. I'm liking to get you to 83. What? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Are we at 83 now? We got 122 people watching. Oh, yeah, there it is, baby. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. There she is, the one and only, the Gamma Goddess. She says, let's get this money. Bought some Cookie this morning. Hope you're right. Hey, absolutely, man. Doggo pumping. Sorry, I missed your yesterday's video. Hey, no problem, man. No problem. Different day, different chart, right? Absolutely. I could send you 2 to 3 projects over there in a message. Would you thoughts on them? If I have time, yes. Gamma God says, Rob, with the exclusive Jasmine interview alpha that no one else has, that's amazing, Rob. Thank you so much, Gamma. Yeah, I think more people need to watch it. The video really is getting shared a lot. But if you hold Jasmine, or you're thinking about holding Jasmine, guys, definitely go watch the part 1 and part 2 of the Jasmine mini series documentary that we put together. Part 2 came out yesterday, and I sit down and I flew to Japan and I interviewed Hara-san, the CFO of Jasmine, CEO of Junction, and there's a lot more coming on part 3. So. Crypto JPEG dropping that cheddar. Thoughts on Dash? Let's have a look at Dash. I actually was considering, because I'm going to Arizona this month to make some content out there, and I was actually going to go to Dash's headquarters and try to get an interview over there, but apparently they moved and there's not really anybody there anymore. So yeah, no one to interview out in Arizona. All right, so Dash's chart. Yeah, look at that downward channel. Holy smokes, right? Dash, same thing, man. Same thing. Right now, just getting ready to test resistance on this trend line here. You've been in this descending channel for quite some time, since the beginning of the month, I guess. Not that long. Oh, this is the hourly. That's why. So yeah, the hourly chart looks bullish, but let's go up. Let's go to the daily. Oh yeah, daily seems to be putting in that double top. Look at this. Yeah, this is potential. No, I was gonna say maybe a head and shoulders, but no, not yet. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Looks like you might have a bit of a head and shoulders pattern forming here on Dash. You're probably coming back down minimum $26.42 to about $20.14, $18.57, something like that. Potential head and shoulders playing out. Yeah. If support does not hold at $35.44, then yeah, you're probably looking at a move down further. So, Elizabeth, where can we see the Jasmine interview? Go to my videos on YouTube. I also shared it over on the Patreon as well. Okay, so let's keep going with the news, guys. Let's keep rolling along here. All right. Speaking of Zcash, they're speaking of privacy coins. Let's go to Zcash. What is happening with Zcash? Zcash in a free fall. Here's why an analyst predicts $55 range. Zcash plummeted over 27% in 24 hours following the entry election coin company team's registration, with analyst Hanzo warning the coin could hit $55. The crash coincided with the whales transferring $35 million to Binance and 200,000 tokens withdrawn from shielded pools. Zcash traded near $400 Thursday afternoon, falling from $530. Former CEO Josh Sweetheart, he's a sweetheart, announced the mass departure Tuesday, citing constructive discharge by Bootstrap's board members over disagreements regarding privatizing the Zcash wallet. On-chain data shows someone withdrew 200,000 Zcash from shielded pools, representing 1.2% of the circulating supply. A whale sent 74,002 Zcash, valued at $35.75 million, to Binance within 24 hours. Exchange balances rose 7% as holders prepared to sell. Short positions on Zcash continued increasing while derivatives capital flows out. The combination of governance crisis and whale selling created what analysts Hanzo called a free fall with potential to reach $55. While the broader altcoin market gained 7%, Zcash fell from $530 to $490 before accelerating lower. Monero gained as capital rotated away from Zcash. So capital flow is flowing out of Zcash and into Monero. So a lot of those people who still believe in privacy coins but are abandoning ship when it comes to Zcash are going into Monero. The departing team plans to found a new company focused on building unstoppable private money. Founding member Zuku Wilcox assured users the protocol remains secure. Despite the bearish signals, Grayscale highlighted Zcash as promising for 2026. Of course they did. They want to make money, right? So here's the long and short, guys. Here's the nitty-gritty of it all, okay? The team is abandoning the project for Zcash, okay? Now, I thought I had another thing here covering it, but I guess I don't. Anyway, yeah, so the team is abandoning the project, and it kind of is what it is, right? I mean, if you're holding Zcash, let's go over to the Zcash chart. Let's have a look at what happened here. So look at that drop. Look at that drop. In the last 3 days, to be fair, everything's down in the last 2 days, but we wick down as far as 24%. Right now, it's only down 15.35. Seems like it's trying to find support between around $404 and $424 range, right? So will it find support or will it continue down? It looks like what happened was it had its fall, and then a lot of supporters of the project started buying up the bottoms, and we've worked our way back up a bit. So yeah, it's not too terrible, but I personally, for me personally, guys, there's nothing against Zcash, but once the core team abandons a project to go build a new project, I'm out. I'm no longer interested in the project. When the core team of developers leaves, that's the project, man, right? That's it. It's done. Like, you can't bring in new developers and have the same product, right? They're different people, different ideas, different thoughts, different creative takes. So for me personally, Zcash, for me personally, no thank you, right? I wish everyone who holds Zcash well. I hope it recovers. But for me, no thanks, right? Angelo, what's going on, man? Are we still here? I'm not sobbing because my crypto hasn't moved up as much as I want it due to the time. And so Sparta, stay in you. Yeah, stand your ground, brother. Absolutely. Did Jasmine just shoot up? Yeah, it's up 6.1%. XCN's doing okay. It's up 3.1 on a red day, too. So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. All right, let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. We got this little story here. I'm not really going to read much of it, but I just wanted to point it out, guys. Listen. SEC pushes decision on Canary Pangu ETF. New deadline set for March. Guys, I got to be honest with you. If the SEC starts approving meme coin spot ETFs, I don't think smart money is going to take crypto ETFs very seriously, right? This is something that needs to not happen, right? I don't think it's going to be big news for the meme coin, and I think it'll be more of a nothing burger, because let's be honest. Let's really. I know there's a lot of people who are biased because they love meme coins and stuff like that, right? I like meme coins. I think that meme coins serve a purpose in the space, and I think that they're fun. They're easy. They're good to make money on and stuff like that. So I fully support meme coins being in the space. However, having a spot ETF for meme coins is a joke, right? I know that you might like meme coins, but I'm sorry. BlackRock's not going to buy Pangu to add, like, their customers are not going to buy Pangu spot ETFs. They're just not, right? They're going to buy spot ETFs with utility. That's it, right? And you might say, well, Bitcoin doesn't have utility. And you're right, to a degree. But it is a store of value. It has been adopted as digital gold, right? So there is that, right? Any meme coin spot ETF, it doesn't have any. They're not going to buy a joke coin ETF. They're just not, right? The only ones that are going to buy that are retail investors, degens. That's it, right? But you're going to have a lot of the meme coin content creators are going to start telling you, see, BlackRock's going to start buying Pangu and all this. Like, come on, guys. Ask yourself that question realistically. Do you really see that happening? Do you really see BlackRock buying, or BlackRock customers buying a meme coin? I don't think so. Took them so long to even adopt the cryptos that they work with now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Like, all right, let's keep going. So I just wanted to point that out, guys. Don't get sucked into that. Don't get sucked into that. Let's go over to Squawk Box. All right, former St. Louis Fed President Bullard. The Fed is probably reluctant to move too much from here. So let's see what the latest is from the Fed.
Now, former St. Louis Fed President James Bullard, he is now Dean of Purdue University's Mitch Daniels School of Business. Now I can call you. I introduce you as James and then call you Jim. Yeah, welcome, Jim. It's good to have you on. I'll just put this out there. So the Dow's almost at 50,000. The labor market might be showing signs of weakening a little, but for every bad number we get some numbers that say, no, it's not that bad, and it's 4.6%. Inflation may be stubborn, but it looks kind of like it might be anchored, and it could eventually come down. Is this the greatest Federal Reserve in history in terms of managing things that you were part of?
I think the committee's in pretty good shape right now. They've got... On the labor side, I would just stress, Joe, that you've got to take the immigration policy into effect. Some of the estimates that I've seen around the Fed and elsewhere suggest that the run rate with the new immigration policy that the U.S. has starting last year, the new run rate for non-farm payrolls would only be 30 to 50,000 or something like that. So when you get a number like 70,000 or, you're actually above the run rate. I don't think that the market has completely brought that online in their thinking. We're used to thinking 150,000 jobs or something like that. So I think that's been tough. And we didn't have this immigration policy before, so it's all different. So I think that's why the labor market actually on other indicators seems fine. You've got unemployment insurance claims, for instance, very, very stable and very low. So there doesn't seem to be any problem on that side. And even the 4.6% unemployment rate, that's close to what most people would say is the neutral rate or the natural rate of unemployment, mid 4% range. So pretty good outcomes there. And then inflation's hanging up a little bit high. And so the committee wants to stay up a little bit above neutral, the neutral policy rate, to try to continue to push inflation down. And if inflation does continue to come down during 2026 here, then they'll have a little room to maneuver a little bit farther. Not a lot farther, I think. But right now, I think they're in a good place, and they're probably reluctant to move too much from here without seeing more data.
And some of it might be AI related on both sides of the dual mandate. Some of the, the reason that companies may not be hiring as much, but aren't really laying people off as much, that could be AI related. And then, obviously productivity and inflation. Remember what happened to inflation the first time around with the internet? I mean, how long did that tamp down in inflation? Just the long-term effects of the new world.
There's a famous episode in U.S. monetary policy, and Alan Greenspan called it. He said, I think we've got a productivity boom going on, and we could be on the cusp of that once more here. And I think the late 90s is a good benchmark. Is that we're not exactly like that, but it's a good benchmark to think about and to look at. And when you think about how the internet, sort of permeated through the whole economy, it did drive productivity, even though you couldn't really point to, particular examples where all of a sudden it did something, that's really noticeable, but it permeates the whole economy. And that's where the productivity gains come from. And the productivity numbers have been good for the last 2 years and look like they'll probably be good for this year too. So that's pretty good news for the U.S. economy.
And people that want to criticize the current economy say, have you ever seen the unemployment rate rise 0.5 point and not indicate either a recession or a slowdown? And I hate to say it's different this time, but just what you said, 4.6 is not far in this economy. That's probably not far from full employment. But
I think the way to think about this, it's great to look at macroeconomic history and try to infer things, but this time was a little bit different. You had this gigantic pandemic, and then you had that, very rapid recovery from that pandemic, and that drove the unemployment rate way down into the 3% range. It's the 3% numbers that are kind of abnormal for the U.S. economy. And then that kind of all settled down, and now you're in the 4% range, and that maybe is closer to the natural rate.
Yeah, I mean, Jay Powell, suffers the slings and arrows of the president, but deep down, a lot of the things the president says are bluster. He's always going to want lower interest rates. He's always going to, want it his way. But things are in the stock market, job market, inflation. Things are pretty good. I think deep down he knows that, President Trump.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed message. I think that this pro-business administration has done a lot of good things, and we're looking pretty good for growth. They don't really need the lower interest rates, and they don't need to take the risk that inflation would reignite here. That would be very troublesome for the economy, for markets, and politically, I think. So that's what you want to be guarding against here, and let the economy run, because it's running pretty well.
What does that indicate to you on who the president picks? That he doesn't need to pick a rubber stamp, and I'm not going to name names, but he could pick someone that is really good at this and would raise rates when you have to, and not raise them not cut them when you shouldn't. Who do you think he's going to pick when it's all set? You think he'll make the right? You think he'll make the right choice?
I think he's got a good set of candidates in front of him. So I don't, there's not really a wrong answer. I think from the president's point of view, all of these people have skills that they can bring to the table and would do, I think, a good job. I don't think that you really need to have this story about driving nominal interest rates, really, really low. I think if you get to a really low nominal interest rate or zero interest rates or something, that probably is not a good day for the U.S. economy. It probably means that something has gone badly wrong, and that's why you're at this super low rate. So I think I don't think the White House probably doesn't need to press so hard on that issue, and you really want competent management, and you want reform at the Fed, which is something that Secretary Bessent has emphasized.
So right now, guys, we have the next FOMC meeting is January 27th and 28th, right? The odds of a rate cut right now for January, the odds for no rate cut, for us to just be paused, is 82 to 90%. So there's an 82 to 90% chance of just a pause, no rate cut, no rate hike in January, right? So is that priced in already? Maybe, maybe not, right? I don't know. How's the market going to respond to just a pause, right? What the implication here is we're probably not going to see much more change in terms of FOMC policy when it comes to rates or anything like that until after May, when we get a new Fed chair in, right? We know that the Democrats want to push the Clarity Act till 2027 because we have midterms coming up, and they don't want anything positive to happen for the markets until after elections, right? So we know that Democrats are serving their own self-interest when it comes to that. And we know that Powell's definitely not going to help Trump or do him any favors in terms of giving him more rate cuts or trying to help markets look even better between now and then either, right? So I think you're going to have to wait until May till we see a new Fed chair in before we start to see a little bit more aggression from the Fed in terms of rate cuts, money printing, stimulus, all that kind of stuff, right? So just my thoughts on that. World's greatest suction cup. Is it Jamie Dimon or Larry Fink? Probably Jamie Dimon at this point. At least Larry Fink went on national television and admitted he was wrong, right? So I'll give him credit for that. But outside of that, yeah. All right, Bitcoin's continuing to climb. Back up over $91,100, so that's good. Very bullish. Will we end this daily candle green? We got bullishness here, guys. Look at these two dragonfly candles here. Look at these long tails on both of these candles. That's a lot of buying pressure, right? So we'll see what happens, guys. But listen, I will be live later tonight. Don't forget, guys, we have the Patreon live between 1 and 1:30 Central. So about 2 hours from now, an hour and a half, 2 hours from now, we will be live over on the Patreon. Get over there for that. I will be dropping more trades today as well. Do not miss out on that, guys. Listen, if your portfolio is in the red or you're in the green and you don't have a plan, you don't have a strategy, you don't know when we're going to start to top and then bottom, you want to know when you should take profits or how to structure your portfolio to get back into the green, book a one-on-one coaching call with me over on the Patreon, guys. Let's sit down, have a look at your portfolio, get things structured properly, and get you pointed in the right direction. There's no shame in getting help from someone who's been through multiple cycles, guys, if it means making life-changing wealth for you and your family. Check it out today. The link is down below in the chat. Oh, Candyman said something. He was commenting on my super chat. I think it got deleted. Your super chat. Oh, there it is. I heard they successfully tested the world's strongest suction cup. I'm not quite sure how they pulled it off. Oh, Candyman, I love it, brother. I love it. All right, guys. So yes, get over to the Patreon. Link is down below. It's in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. I'll see you over there later today. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Keep an eye out, guys, for the Zbex Spaces video I will be dropping this afternoon here on YouTube. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.